Hi, my name is Pat, and this is my channel, Book Chat with Pat, and I'm glad that you're here. Today I'm going to be doing a very special original tag. This is the Books and Art tag, and it was created by my friend Daniela at The Uncommon Reader, and Daniela also tagged me on this. She created this tag in order to observe and celebrate her 1-year anniversary on BookTube. So happy anniversary, congratulations Daniela, and thank you again for including me on this tag. I'm just going to read what Daniela had to say about the creation of this tag, and I'm going to link her video in the notes below. And please take a look at her video because she features a number of really beautiful works of art and then the book prompts that she created to go along with those works of art. So this is what Daniela had to say. She says, "This is a special video to celebrate this channel's 1 year on BookTube. For the occasion, I created an original tag inspired by my love for art. 7 paintings are paired with a prompt inspired by their title. The bonus prompt is for everyone to choose their favorite art piece and create a prompt and a book choice. Have fun." Okay, so the first painting that Daniela chose was Wanderer Above the Sea of Fog by Caspar David Friedrich. And the prompt is a book that focuses on or explores solitude. For that, I've chosen Simon Van Buys Sipsworth. And this is the story of a woman, an elderly woman who is experiencing tremendous loneliness and solitude. She's lost her husband and her child, and she's returned to the place of her birth, where she expects to just live out, the last few years of her life in solitude. And then a very special and unusual relationship is started, a very unexpected and unlikely friendship. Okay, number 2, the painting is Cherubs by Raphael, and the prompt is a book with supernatural protagonists. For that, I'm choosing Stephen King's novel, The Green Mile. This is a novel that I used to teach in a contemporary fiction course. I taught this to seniors in high school. And one of the protagonists in this novel is a man named John Coffey, and he has supernatural powers. Number 3, Moscow by Kandinsky, a book set in the future, science fiction or dystopic. For that, I'm choosing a novel that I'm reading right now with my friend Lekton at Reading from the Depths, and that's Adrian Tchaikovsky's Children of Time. Very definitely a science fiction novel set in the future. Number 4, The Cradle by Morissette, a book with a special bond between mother and daughter or son. For that, I've chosen Susie Boyt's Loved and Missed. This is a novel about a mother, Ruth, her relationship with her daughter, Eleanor, and they are pretty much estranged through much of the novel, and then Eleanor's daughter, Lily. And Ruth ends up, with custody of Lily. So it's a novel about mothers and daughters and grandmothers and granddaughters, a very, very beautiful and heartbreaking mother-daughter story. Number 5, The Swing by Renoir, a book that reminds you of your childhood. For that, I've chosen Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, a book that I first read in my childhood when my brother had to read it for high school, and we as a family watched the movie. So I saw the movie first, fell in love with the story, then found the book on my parents' bookshelves, and I read it as a 9-year-old. I would then go on to read this again in high school, and then I read it many times because it was a book that we used to teach as well. But it not only is a novel about the childhood of several several little kids in Alabama. But it very much reminds me, whenever I think about this, even though it's a book commonly read in high school, it makes me think of my childhood. And I just remember I couldn't wait to get home from school so that I could continue reading this book. Number 6, American Gothic by Wood Grant, a book set in a rural area. For that, I've chosen Daniel Mason's North Woods. This is a novel that I read last year with my book group, and then I read it again for the BookTube prize judging in fiction. And this is a novel that basically follows a house over several hundred years and all the inhabitants of that house in rural New England. Number 7 painting is Self-Portrait of Artemisia Gentileschi, and this is a book with a female protagonist who was ahead of her time, a pioneer. For that, I've chosen the novel that my book group is reading right now, which I've mentioned in a couple of recent videos, and this is Ariel Lahan's The Frozen River. And this is historical fiction about the real-life midwife, Martha Ballard, who was a midwife in Maine in the 1700s. And she was a woman way ahead of her time, definitely a pioneer in the field of medicine and being a midwife. Okay, number 8 is the bonus. What is your favorite painting or work of art? Create a prompt to match your art with a book title. And don't forget to tag other art lovers. Well, I don't have one favorite painting. I have a lot of favorite artists, but the one I chose to focus on for this is Winslow Homer. And I have a couple of collections of his artwork, but this one is a particularly beautiful set of art of his paintings. These are all his paintings of the sea. And I wanted to focus in particular on this painting entitled A Summer Night from 1890. And the prompt that I've created is simply to talk about a book that takes place at the sea. And for that, I've chosen a novel that I also used to teach. I've made a video about how I love to teach this. This is Kate Chopin's The Awakening. And several very important scenes in this novel take place in the sea. Okay, so those are all of the prompts, and then I am just to tag some people. So if you're watching this and you'd like to get in on this, I hope that you will consider yourself tagged. And in addition, I'm going to tag a bunch of people in the notes below. Once again, Daniela, congratulations on reaching this 1-year anniversary, and thank you again for including me in your delightful tag. So, as always, I thank you for watching. I hope that you're doing well. I'll speak with you again soon. Take care.